Chapter 6. The Mirror That Breathed. She thought the escape was over. She was wrong. The world shifted again, not violently this time, but softly, like a breath taken by something ancient. The sky folded inward, colors melting into a quiet silver dusk. The ground beneath her feet turned smooth, reflective, like glass warmed by a living pulse. And then she saw it. A mirror. Not standing floating, suspended in the air as if the world itself was holding it steady. Its surface shimmered, not with her reflection, but with movement, like memories swimming just beneath water. She stepped closer. The mirror breathed. Each inhale dimmed the light around it. Each exhale sent ripples through her chest, syncing with her heartbeat. Her palms tingled. The same sensation she had felt before, when the world first began remembering her. Slowly, the mirror cleared. She was there, but not as she was now. This version of her stood taller. Eyes calm, spine straight. Light radiating not from her chest, but from her silence. She did not look afraid. She did not look lost. She looked free. A crack appeared down the center of the mirror, glowing gold, splitting the image into two realities. On one side, every fear she had ever carried. Every moment she chose silence over truth. Every time, she became smaller so the world would feel comfortable. On the other side, what she could become if she stopped running. "You can't escape me," the mirror version said softly. Her voice wasn't spoken, it was felt. Tears welled up before she realized why. "Because I'm not chasing you," the reflection continued. "I'm waiting." The air trembled. Behind her, footsteps echoed, not footsteps of another being, but of time itself closing in. The world was asking for a choice. The mirror began to fracture. If it shattered completely, she would forget. If she stepped forward, she would remember everything. Her hand rose on its own, fingers trembling not with fear, but with recognition. As her skin touched the mirror, the crack exploded into light. And the world inhaled sharply, because Chapter 6 was never about escape, it was about acceptance. Chapter 7. When the world spoke her name, the light did not blind her. It entered her, not like fire, not like lightning, like remembrance. The mirror did not shatter outward. It dissolved into her skin, into her veins, into the quiet spaces she had tried so hard to ignore. Every version of herself she had hidden. Every silent scream, every almost choice, came rushing back like a river breaking through a forgotten dam. She fell to her knees, but this time, she did not feel weak. She felt full. The ground beneath her cracked open, not in destruction, but in revelation. Roots of golden light spread outward beneath the glass-like earth, forming symbols she somehow understood without learning. Her name, written in lights, not the name the world called her, not the name tied to expectations. Her true name. It echoed through the sky, not as sound, but as vibration. The clouds shifted. The stars bent closer. Even the silence leaned in, and then the darker version of her stepped forward from the fading edge of the old world. But she was no longer dark. The storm had left her eyes. "You were never meant to escape me," she said gently. "I was the part of you that survived." The brighter version stepped forward too, no longer separate. "I am the part of you that rises." The two versions looked at her, not as enemies, not as opposites, as pieces. She understood now. Escape was never the goal. Integration was. Her chest began to glow. Not blinding gold, not violent light, but steady, warm, alive. A pulse that matched the rhythm of the universe itself. The sky cracked open one last time, and from above a single word descended like a blessing. "Awaken." The world spoke her name again. "This time," she answered. And when she did, the landscape shifted into something entirely new. Not storm, not cosmos, a doorway, waiting. Chapter 8. The Thing That Stepped Through. The doorway did not shimmer. It darkened. The light inside her chest pulsed one slow warning. The air grew heavy. sick like a storm waiting to break. She felt it before she saw it. Something was coming through. Not rushing, not attacking, emerging. A shadow pressed against the edge of the doorway, stretching the frame as if reality itself resisted its shape. The golden symbols beneath her feet flickered. The sky fell silent. Then it stepped through. It looked like her, but unfinished, its edges blurred like smoke trying to remember how to be solid. Its eyes held no light, only depth. Not evil, not rage. Emptiness. "You left me behind," it said, voice echoing inside her bones. She didn't move. "I am every doubt you buried, every fear you renamed strength, every wound you called wisdom." The light in her chest flared, instinctively pushing back. The shadow recoiled slightly but did not disappear. "You cannot awaken by abandoning me," it whispered. The truth struck harder than any threat. This was not an enemy. This was the last fragment. The part of her that learned to survive by shrinking. The voice that said, "Don't try," so she wouldn't be hurt. The silence that kept her safe when the world was loud. The doorway trembled behind it, unstable. If she rejected it, the fracture would reopen. If she accepted it, she would have to feel everything. Slowly, she stood. "I didn't leave you," she said, her voice steady. "I outgrew the cage you built for us." The shadows' form flickered. "And you don't need to guard me anymore." For a moment, nothing moved. Then she stepped forward. Not to fight, to embrace. When her arms closed around the shadow, it did not burn. It did not resist. It dissolved like ink in water into her skin. Pain came first. Sharp, deep, honest. Then peace. The doorway behind her stabilized. No longer dark but silver. Clear. Steady. Waiting. She inhaled. This time, nothing stepped through before her. She walked forward, and the world did not swallow her. It expanded. Chapter 9. The world that knew. The moment her foot crossed the doorway, the air changed. It wasn't heavier. It wasn't lighter. It was aware. The ground beneath her was no longer glass or stormlit earth. It was living terrain, soft, luminous, threaded with quiet veins of silver light. Each step she took sent a ripple outward, as if the world was adjusting to her presence, or welcoming it. The sky above was vast and open, painted in deep indigo and soft gold. Constellations shimmered, but they were shifting, ferns rearranging, forming. She looked up slowly. They were spelling something, not in letters, in memory. Moments from her life flickered between the stars. The times she chose courage without knowing. The times she endured when she thought she was breaking. The silent battles no one saw. The sky remembered. A warmth spread through her, not overwhelming, not explosive, steady, grounded, real. "You're late," a voice said gently. She turned. A figure stood in the distance, not glowing, not shadowed, balanced. Their presence felt ancient, but not distant. "Late?" she asked. The figure smiled softly. "You were meant to arrive the moment you stopped running." She understood. This world wasn't new. It had always existed, just beyond the barrier of her fear. The figure stepped aside, revealing a vast horizon. Cities made of light and thought, rivers that flowed upward, trees whose leaves hummed with quiet energy. None of it intimidated her, because none of it felt above her. It felt aligned. "What is this place?" she whispered. The answer came not from the figure, but from the ground, the sky, the air itself. "This is the life that responds when you do?" Her chest pulsed once more, not brightly, not urgently. Naturally, the constellations above settled into stillness. For the first time, she did not feel split, not divided, not becoming. She felt whole. And somewhere, beyond the horizon, something greater stirred, not as a threat, as the next invitation. Chapter 10. The Test of Staying. The horizon darkened, not with fear, with gravity. The luminous city in the distance flickered, not fading, but watching. The rivers that flowed upward slowed. Even the silver veins beneath her feet pulsed more slowly, as if the world itself had entered a state of evaluation. The balanced figure beside her grew still. "It's time," they said softly. "For what?" she asked. "To see if you can stay." A low vibration rolled across the sky. The constellations above began to blur, dissolving into fog. The warmth in her chest wavered for the first time. Since she stepped through the doorway, doubt returned. Quiet, subtle. What if this isn't real? What if you fall back? What if you're still the girl who hides? The ground beneath her shifted, and suddenly she was standing alone. No city, no figure, no silver light, just an empty landscape and a mirror. Not cracked, not glowing, plain, ordinary. It showed her exactly as she was now. No aura, no cosmic light, no symbols in the sky. Just her, breathing, human, tired. The test was not about power. It was about identity. Could she choose herself without magic? Without validation? Without the world reacting? The doubt grew louder. "You don't belong here," it whispered from nowhere and everywhere. Her heart pounded, but she did not look away from the mirror. "I belong wherever I choose to stand," she said quietly. The reflection did not change. That was the point. She stepped closer. "I don't need to glow to be worthy. I don't need to transform to stay. I am allowed to exist as I am." Silence. Then, the ground steadied. The sky slowly returned. The mirror dissolved like mist, and the world breathed out in approval. The city of light reappeared in the distance. Brighter, but not because she earned it, because she didn't chase it. The balanced figure returned beside her. "You can stay," they said. And this time, she believed it, not because the world confirmed her, but because she confirmed herself.